Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about 3 garden favorites. We've got Salvia, Lavender, and Nepeta. Sometimes when we see these 3 plants together at the garden center, they all look the same. So they're a little bit different in maybe texture. Maybe one is a little bit more spiky, one is a little bit more whimsical, but what are the differences? So today I'm going to do an overview of each plant. We're going to be talking about their appearance and their growth habits, their bloom time and longevity, care and maintenance for them, garden uses, and then we'll just kind of wrap things up. So first, let's talk about Salvia. I've got my notes. Salvia belongs to the mint family. There are hundreds of varieties, but most gardeners know them for their kind of spiky blue-purple blooms. They're very heat and drought tolerant, and they bloom summer through fall with proper deadheading. Now their appearance and their growth habit kind of touched on it, but the Salvia, they're more upright. They've got vertical spikes. They're kind of tidy, clump forming habit is what they do. And they're great for adding height and structure in the landscape. Bloom time and longevity for Salvia. Salvias bloom mid to late summer, especially long blooming with deadheading. So you want to make sure to deadhead them if you want them to bloom longer in the season. And to care for them, it's super easy. You want to just cut back those spent blooms. Just take your pruners, cut the spent blooms back, and it will bloom again. And they like sun and just kind of your average soil. And for garden uses, Salvia is perfect for use in mixed borders, pollinator gardens, or as vertical accents. So next, let's move on to lavender. If you don't know what lavender is, I think kind of all of us know what lavender is. We all know the smell. It's a very iconic, fragrant herb. It's used in oils, culinary dishes. There's shampoo and conditioner. There's soaps. There's lotions. There's kind of anything that you want in your home, you can find it in a lavender scent. Candles, cleaning products, all this stuff. Very, very popular. And lavender has a silver green foliage with upright purple spikes. And it also thrives in dry, sunny conditions, which is great. We have some lavender planted on the west side of our house. I won't show it to you because I have been neglecting that side of the house along with many other areas. I planted them. It got super hot and sunny. They did look, when I first planted them, I did have to give them water. You do have to give them water occasionally, but it's not an everyday watering thing. You can let them dry out depending on your climate. Like we're in Wisconsin Zone 5B. I think I've watered them maybe once a week after I first planted them for a month. And then now I've just been letting the rain do its thing. And we've been having way more rain than we need this year. But anyway, they like dry, sunny locations with well-drained soil. I do have them going on a hill, so the water does run down. Bloom time for lavender is usually late spring into early summer. Sometimes they have a second flush. Appearance and growth habit for lavender. They have a woody base with slender stems, and they're a little bit more shrubby and architectural. And they add fragrance, and they also add a Mediterranean look. If you like that style, if that's the kind of style house that you have, definitely add some lavender. Bloom time and longevity for lavender. They usually bloom earlier, in June to July, and they have a little bit of a shorter bloom season. So for care and maintenance, lavender needs the driest, like I said, most well-drained soil. It can actually rot in wet conditions. So if you look out in your landscape and maybe you have an area of the lawn that is always dry, the sun is always hitting it, grass is always dying, pop that grass out and put some lavender in, and it'll look beautiful. So for garden uses for lavender, it's perfect for edging. It's perfect for herb gardens if you want to cook with it, or if you just want to bundle it up and keep it in your house or smell it. They're great for fragrance gardens. Maybe you have a rose garden and you want to put some lavender in front and roses behind. Beautiful. And you can also use lavender in crafts. Next, let's move on to Nepeta. Now, I am a new one with Nepeta. I knew about lavender, knew about Salvia. Nepeta was one of those where I was I don't know, is it a type of, it's got to be a type of Salvia. It kind of looks the same. But Catmint is also, it's in the mint family if you can't already figure that out by its name. And it's a lot softer in appearance. They're low mounding, and think of clouds of tiny little lavender blue blooms. They have a long bloom period from late spring all the way into fall. And they're very attractive to pollinators, of course. and cats. So if you have cats in your yard, you might find them out in the Nepeta field. But really all of these varieties do well with any of the pollinators. The appearance and growth habit for Nepeta, they are looser, they have a sprawling growth, and they give more of a like soft, flowy effect. So if you wanted more of a kind of cottagey feel, I would probably plant 5 or 6 of them kind of in a group together in a long row, and that would be gorgeous as they grow bigger together and the wind blows. It'd be so pretty. They're also perfect for edging pathways, and you can just picture like a little stone path with some Nepeta kind of growing over in between the path. That'd be so beautiful too. Bloom time and longevity for Nepeta. They are our marathon bloomer. They bloom from spring all the way to frost with proper shearing. Care and maintenance, Nepeta is super forgiving. You just want to shear back after that first bloom for repeat flowers. And they also tolerate poor soil and drought. Garden uses for Nepeta, like I said, they're an excellent ground cover. And they're a good edging plant. They soften some hardscapes. If you have like a patio with a lot of hardscape or rock and you add like a beautiful Nepeta plant, it's really gonna soften it. And they pair beautifully with roses. A visual tip for you. So if you see tall spiky blooms, think Salvia. If you see silvery foliage and fragrant stems, think lavender. And if you see a soft mound, like a cloud of purple haze, think Nepeta. So here is a quick cheat sheet I will put on the screen. Salvia, upright spikes, long summer bloomers, great for structure. Lavender, fragrant, silver foliage, shorter bloom season, Mediterranean look. Nepeta, soft mounding, nonstop flowers, pollinator magnet. Whether you want fragrance or you want a structure plant or you want soft flowing color, one of these plants will absolutely work for you, or maybe you want to try all 3. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that helped just a little bit. So next time, or maybe next spring, or maybe later this season, if you're looking for some plants, I hope that it helped you out to kind of identify those differences. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.